Hello everyone, welcome to the session Preparing a Pitch Deck. So in this session, we'll be discussing about how to prepare a pitch deck. So we know that for a startup or an organization, it is really important to raise funds. And in order to raise funds, it is really important to show or have a business idea or plan in your hand for your stakeholders or investors in order to attract them to invest in your company. Therefore, to make up a very attractive or very good pitch deck or business plan is really important for every organization, especially startups in our early stages. So, in order to prepare a pitch deck, we'll be discussing certain steps or what all includes in a pitch deck. So, pitch deck is formally a presentation, actually a PPT maybe, like it contains actually 8 to 10 slides. So in this session, we'll be discussing about what those slides contains. So let us move to the content. So a pitch deck is a presentation deck which is used for the purpose of defining or pitching your idea to any prospective audience or stakeholders accordingly. These stakeholders can be the shareholders, the investors, the prospective investors who can invest in your company accordingly, and so on. Therefore, it is really important to have a very good pitch deck or a business plan. So what that differentiate a business plan from a pitch deck is that pitch deck is more kind of brief case. So it is really brief in case that it contains the very specific cases of your business, your idea, your problems, etc. So let us go straight into what are the slide and its contents. Slide 1. Title. Provide company name, your name, title, address, email and additional cell number. We all know that every startup or organization has got its own name, a company name. So in the first slide, like basic information, you must provide the company name, your name or the founder's name of the startup or the organization, the address which is well defined now, and the email of the company and an additional cell number for contact purposes. So in this slide, it is really important to have no error or the error-free slide. So in this slide, we must provide the company name, the name of the founder, the address, email and cell number for contact details. So that is about the slide 1. Next, slide number 2. Problem or opportunity. Describe the pain you are alleviating or the pleasure you are providing. Every startup or organization has its own pain or the problem they have faced in conducting their business, or the pleasure or service or goods they are offering to the audience or the customers, prospective customers they have in hand. So therefore, it is important in the second slide to give the problem of your organization or the opportunity or the goods or service or any kind of thing that your idea of giving to the customers. So in slide number 2, describe the pain you are alleviating or the pleasure you are providing to the customers. So let's move to the next slide. Slide number 3. In slide number 3, value proposition. In the earlier slide, we have explained describing the pain you are alleviating or the pleasure you are providing to the customers. In this slide, we'll be talking about explanations. Explain what is the value of the pain you are alleviating or the pleasure you are providing to the customers. In the later slide, in the former slide, we have discussed about just a description of your pain or the opportunity of the products or services you are providing to the customers. But in this stage or in this slide of value proposition, we'll be explaining what is the value of pain we are alleviating or the pleasure you are providing. So that's about the third slide. So the fourth slide, underline magic. Describe what makes your product unique. Use diagrams, screenshots or working demands if you can. So this is the slide that really attracts your investors or stakeholders. Underline magic. Every organization or startup has their own specialities or uniqueness. So as we know about the USP, unique selling proposition, every organization is different from others in certain ways. Sometimes it may be in marketing, sometimes it may be the case of the product you are providing, maybe the way of service you are providing. Like these things must be included in the underlying magic or the slide 4. While describing these things, you can use diagrams, screenshots, or working demonstrations if you can for making it more attractive. So that's about underlying magic in slide 4. So after underlying magic, we'll go to the next slide, that is slide 5. Business model. One of the most important slide, just like underlying magic. Explain who has your money temporarily in his pocket and how you are going to get it into yours. It is basically about the investors. It is how this business model or this slide shows how you are getting your money, for what purpose, and how you are going to attract the investors. This is really what works in the business model slide. So this slide is really important that you should explain who really has the money, what you need, and how you're going to get that money into your firm, and what makes them to invest in your firm. All this explains how special or how unique your firm is and why should they invest in your firm. So that is about business model. So that is the 5th slide of our pitch deck. We have now discussed the 5 slides, important slides. Next we'll move to the 6th slide of our pitch deck. Go to market plan. So in this slide, explain how you're going to reach your customers without breaking the bank. This means that the way or the course you are using to reach the customers. So go-to-market plan has a very effective way to attract the investors and stakeholders, because they'll know how efficient you guys or the startup founders are, so that they could invest more in their organizations in the early stage, and this can help your organization to grow in a better way too. So in a more fast phase, the organization or the startup would be able to grow if you give a clear-cut idea about how you're going to the market, how you're going to reach the customers without breaking the bank. So in the slide 6, go to market plan, it is really important to describe the way you reach to your customers. So that is about go to market plan. So the next slide, slide 7, that is competitive analysis. Every organization has got competition. So it is really important to analyze the competition in your market, even though you are a service provider, good provider, or something. Like in slide 7, we explains like provide a complete view of the competitive landscape. Too much is better than too little. Like it must not be that brief. You should explain what it takes to have a competitive landscape, how competitive enough you are to break the markets and to compete enough with your competitors, and what makes you different from them. So the competitive analysis in the slide 7 is really important to attract the investors. So that is about the slide 7, competitive analysis. So in the next slide, slide 8, that is management team. Every organization has a key team members, like who operates the business. It describes the key layers of your team and board of advisors. Mention each member's role in this slide. So here we'll be mentioning each member's role, like maybe an executive director, maybe a chief operating officer, chief executive officer, then maybe about the chairman and financial officer, marketing director, everything. All this and their duties must be specifically given in management team. Describe the layers, how it goes from the chairman to the chief executive officer to the financial head to the marketing head. Give the layers as given. And in slide 8, it is really important to give the role of these members too. That is about slide 8, management team. So next we'll discuss about slide 9, final projection and metrics. providing a 3-year forecast containing not only revenues but also other key metrics. So giving like a kind of budget, like a 3-year forecast, how your company would work, like a final projection metrics. So how is it is gonna work? Not only the revenue part, but also the expense that may occur, or what the where the source of funding we might have. All this must be given in the final projection and metrics. This give a clear-cut idea to your investors, and that can give them a sense of thing that you are clear in your ways. So that will help them to invest in your company. So that is about slide 9, final projection and metrics. Next, slide 10. That is current status, accomplishments and timeline. Explain the current status of your product and what the near future looks like. So every investor wants to know how this organization is gonna work. So it is really important that state them and explain them, like what is your current status and what are your products or services and what your near future looks like. Your expectations to the near future is the key of attraction to your investors. Therefore, it is really important to design your future and current status accordingly. That is about the slide 10. So in this case of preparation of pitch deck, we have seen 10 slides which contains from basic details to the current status or a future purview of your business. So it is really important to have a very good pitch deck to get into your stakeholders or attract investors. So I hope that preparation of pitch deck is understandable and okay with you guys. So after this session, you will have certain works regarding preparing a pitch deck. So go through it accordingly. Thank you.